It's been a while, huh? Welcome to What About, the show where I review pieces of media that I've experienced very recently. Today I'm going to be reviewing Far Cry New Dawn, the new game from Ubisoft. It's a good game. I don't know why people have this thing against Ubisoft. I always maintain that I will support Ubisoft in their current state for as long as ever since they released Watch Dogs 2. It's been up and up for them. You know, a few years ago Ubisoft were in a place where they would just release the same Assassin's Creed game every year, except somehow it got buggier and it got messier and it got worse every single year. And then eventually they had this epiphany moment where they went, wait a minute, what if we stopped being just awful? And then they released Watch Dogs 2. And then they took a year or two off Assassin's Creed and they released Assassin's Creed Origins. And it was amazing. And Ubisoft's been on the up and up ever since. It's great. People don't appreciate the things Ubisoft does. Far Cry also experienced this same problem that Assassin's Creed did. They got into the habit of just releasing the same game over and over again. Far Cry 3 was a seminal project for Ubisoft. It was a huge game, and it was a really good game as well. Then it released Far Cry Blood Dragon, the standalone DLC, and it was incredible and so unique. Then it released Far Cry 4, and it was just the same game again. Primal did some new things, sort of made it a bit more bare bones, making it a little more unique, but it didn't have that same feel that Blood Dragon did. It didn't feel like it had the same heart behind it. So they took a few years off Far Cry. And then last year, they released Far Cry 5, and people did not appreciate this game. Far Cry 5 was so good. People just assumed it would be Far Cry 4 again, just another Far Cry 3 clone. Man, I'm just saying Far Cry so much. But Far Cry 5 was very unique. It had some great villains. It had a really interesting story. I mean, check this out. Right here, I won a competition by Ubisoft to win this, the Book of Joseph, from the game. It is a fully fledged book. It is the book that Joseph Seed wrote in-universe. You can't purchase that, but it exists. They went to these levels of detail just for this game. And the gameplay was hugely changed too. All of the things that you could do in Far Cry 3 after fully upgrading your character were basically available from the start of the game. It even put in some things from Far Cry 4, like the grapple hook and the wingsuit and stuff. And the approach to how you tackled the open world was really interesting too. You could tackle it in pretty much any order you wanted. There were 3 main areas, and you could literally do it whichever order you wanted with them. It felt like 3 separate games in one. No one appreciated Far Cry 5 enough, I don't think. And sure, it wasn't the most unique game ever, it still felt a little much like Far Cry 3, but it did enough to make it really stand out. But people are just so deep in this Ubisoft hate bandwagon that they can't lift the wool from their eyes and see what they have. They have to kick the gift horse in the mouth. So when they announced Far Cry New Dawn, I'm going to be honest, I was actually a little skeptical when they announced it. Only a year after the release of Far Cry 5, and they're already releasing this game. But when I found out that it would be a direct sequel to Far Cry 5, I thought, hey, that's really interesting. And you know what? It is. And I'm going to jump straight into the praise for this game. It is a perfect sequel to Far Cry 5. It takes the story to such a crazy place that only a sequel to that game could have done, especially considering the ending of Far Cry 5. This game is good. Now, it does have one major flaw. It has a few flaws, but it has one major flaw that overshadows them all, and that is that there is not enough game here. I completed pretty much everything in this game within 2 days. I played the entire story mode through in one sitting on my Twitch channel. Link in the description, please follow. and then I completed all of the side missions the next day. I like the fact that you don't get all of the roster of guns for hire from the story missions. I don't like the fact that that's pretty much all there is in terms of side missions. There are a few bunkers, literally like 4 bunkers, but after that you're done. I mean, they try and pad it out. They at least try with some, away missions where you fly off to a distant part of America, but it's just not enough. I appreciate that they clearly knew this. This game's not listed as full price. It is not $60. It is $35-ish, which I appreciate. I appreciate that they didn't charge full price for it, because I would have felt robbed. I am happy with the game that's there. It is mechanically solid. I have not experienced any bugs. The AI is still dumb as heck, though. They could have done something about that. Visually, this is a stunning game. The colors, the designs, the new approach to enemy tier systems that wasn't in Far Cry 5, and the way that the designs changed because of that, fantastic. And other than that, this is just a great game. I'd really recommend it if you've got spare money. It's got co-op elements, so you can bring a friend. I just wish there was more game. I've played this game for, let me check, 13 hours. 13 hours, and I have done everything that the game has to offer, pretty much. It does try to add some replay value on certain missions, the away missions especially. Every time you do a new tier of it, it is a completely different layout for the map, which I appreciate. But it's still the same map at the end of the day. Visually it's the same enemies. I just wish there was more game. But the stuff that is here, and it is enough to justify the price. I feel like I have got my money's worth, but some people might not. That's my main concern. This is a good game. I give this game a solid green. A solid green star. Put it up here. Solid green star. But what Ubisoft has now is a dilemma. Because previously it has been heavily implied that all of the Far Cry games take place in the same universe. Far Cry 5 destroyed the world. So now what? Are they gonna just do post-apocalyptic games? Maybe it was just America that got destroyed. Base it somewhere else in the world. Another thing to point out is the soundtrack. Really good. It's a really solid soundtrack. The licensed tracks, which I didn't hear until my second day of playing because I had streamer mode turned on. Really, really good. Really great selections. One thing I am not sure about, which some news sites, quote-unquote news sites, if you can call gaming journalism these days news, if you can even call it journalism. Anyway, point is, some sites have picked up that there is some tonal inconsistency that was present in Far Cry 5, but not to the same extent. This game tries to apply a lot more humor than Far Cry 5. There was humor in Far Cry 5, but a lot of the characters who have moved to this game, and a lot of the new characters in this game, are comical characters, and there is some disconnect between the comedic scenes and the fact that you're gunning people down. But it doesn't detract from the game, for me, anyway. It is something that's there, but I never, I'm taken out of the experience by this fact. What else is there to mention? The acting is kind of just basic Ubisoft acting, not great, not bad. Well, sometimes bad. Ubisoft. You play Assassin's Creed Origins, that had some Resident Evil 1 level voice acting in that game. Anyway, point is, I give it a green star. Purchase it. Buy it. It's a good game. Stop hating on Ubisoft unnecessarily, you absolute twits. What are you gonna go to EA? What are you gonna go buy Anthem? What are you gonna go buy Fallout 76 from Bethesda? Wow. Ubisoft is the most wholesome and down to earth and down to the consumer level AAA gaming studio that there is. Alright? Stop being a 12-year-old. Alright, grow up. Pull the wool out from your eyes. This really frustrates me. Okay? Because no one appreciated Far Cry 5. No one even bought Watch Dogs 2. Alright, that was a great game as well. Okay, anyway, I could go on to a conversation about elitism in gaming, but I won't, because what does that have to do with anything? Point is, this is a great game that you should absolutely purchase. I may be biased. I'm not biased. My opinion is always correct. The objectively correct opinion is mine. Point is, I keep saying point is, if you played Far Cry 5 and you enjoyed it, and you want to know what happens next, please get this game. If you enjoy fun games that have a great co-op element, get this game. I can't wait to see what comes next for the series. I'm so curious. And it's good to be back doing this series again. I've taken some time off, as you may have noticed. It's because I haven't been seeing any movies, I haven't really been buying any games, I've had money troubles recently. Which brings me to my next point. I stream every day except Saturdays on twitch.tv/Grith. Feel free to visit, follow, maybe subscribe, maybe donate. I don't know, I'm just suggesting. Or maybe you can go to my Patreon and give me a little sugar there. Or you could do neither. I'm not going to force you. What do you think I am? Point is, thanks for coming. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to this channel, like the video, comment telling me how I barely even talked about the game and what I should review next, because I need more things to review. Or you can visit my Discord, where you can tell me what I should review next. Bye bye now.
Okay, I think this is working now. Hello, can you hear me? Oh my god, it's gone out again. Okay, oh my god, is it just every time we turn this thing on? Is that what's happening here?
What is this? Don't do that again. I can hear you. Just don't do it again. Alright? Let's turn this thing off so we can have a talk. See you next time, YouTube.